This podcast is brought to you by Casa de la Zissa and by Again and Forever.
Come with me to discover the transformative power of kindness and the joy it brings. Join me as we explore every Monday morning simple yet profound ways to elevate your happiness, one gesture at a time.
Wow, fantastic baby, dance. I'm gonna dance, 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 dance. Fantastic baby.
Fantastic morning to one and all. Thanks for tuning in. Got a lot of choices and very little time, so thanks for tuning in. This is the complete guide to happiness, where we're going to try to bring you some advice to put a smile on your face, maybe a laugh or two, and make you happy. Well, I like to start off the shows with a quote. I send out quotes to my 800 plus WhatsApp groups around the world every day for free. And this is from Marcus Aurelius, one of my favorite philosophers. And he said, "Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them." Very positive thing. And as you know, I always add a quote. And my quote to that one was, "What you want to be, you can be. Be fantastic." Now, it's up to you to be happy. So this show might help you, but you've got to help yourself by thinking positive thoughts. We have the past, and that's gone, and hopefully you don't dwell on it and make yourself miserable from bad things that might have happened. We don't know what the future is. A couple weeks ago, people lost a lot of lives. I guess one person only lost a life, but there were many lives lost from the Los Angeles fires, my hometown. And we don't know if we have a future. We only have the present. And I'm told that 70% of the population around the world are depressed. I got to believe that's because we live for the moment. I mean, we're living in this one moment, this 1 minute. And that's why I love children, because they live in the moment and they don't have a future or past, and they're having a fantastic time. We need to put positive things in our minds every second of the day. It's like being an alcoholic, one day at a time. Striving to be happy is one day at a time. Putting positive things in your mind. Many bad things happen to us. We lose our homes in fires. I lost my home in a fire. You can't dwell on it. You've got to think what's possibly positive from it. And that's a new home, new belongings, new things. And you have memories. Well, most people have memories. I don't, of course, but that's that's why I'm so happy, because I can't remember my problems. And that's a benefit to not having a memory. A lot of people are upset that I don't remember them, and I apologize. Unless you're calling me all the time, I'm going to forget you. But as long as you're taking with you the 3 commitments to kindness: be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and be kind to the environment, you're going to have a fantastic life. Now, today's guest is Ambassador number 493, and she works with NAMI in America, which is the National Alliance of Mental Illness. And there's a lot of mental illness out there. And hopefully the show will reduce some of it, but she's had a lot of problems in her life. She has a saying that all the things that went through her life didn't break her spirit, and she's writing a book about that, and she'll talk about that. But she's a very, very kind woman. Glad to have her as one of my ambassadors. By the way, the ambassadors are enjoying the Be Fantastic philosophy, my kindness revolution, which I invite you to be part of as an ambassador of kindness, are off the charts. We have a lot of royals. We have a new group called Royals Are Fantastic. If you're a royal, we put you in that group. Royals only, because I think royals should set the golden standard for kindness, because kindness leads to happiness. You'd be surprised that when you start being kind to others, you're going to be happier. And as I said, if you're doing things that are making you happy, keep doing them. And if you're making things that are making you sad, stop doing them. It's as simple as that. Life isn't that difficult, but we're taught it's difficult because our parents were amateurs and they were raised by amateurs who were raised by amateurs. We do the best we can as parents and we make a lot of mistakes. My philosophy is that after 6 kids, you make less mistakes. You don't make no mistakes, you make less mistakes. And unfortunately, our children grow up thinking wrong things, and because we're learning, I mean, in the past, they told you smoking was healthy, it was good for you. And now, of course, they don't say that. We're learning lots of fantastic things. I've been doing a lot of research on the future of humanity, and there's amazing things coming down the road that the young people will certainly enjoy. I probably won't see a lot of them because I'm a twilight, I guess. I think I'm 30, but I know I look 40. But it's what you think. If you think you're happy, you're going to be happy. Manifestation. And as you know, I now have what's called the Global Kindness Pledge. And I encourage everyone to say it in the mirror every day. I'm trying to get the schools to adopt it because it's not political, it's not religious, and it's not commercial. And here's how it goes. And I want you to repeat after me if you don't mind. If you've been watching this series, you've heard it a couple times. If this is your first time watching, please repeat after me. I think you'll love it. I pledge to be kind to and love myself. I pledge to be kind to and strive to love all others. I pledge to be kind to, love and respect our Mother Earth. We are all fantastic. You are fantastic. I am fantastic. It's a very powerful pledge. It builds self-confidence. It fosters camaraderie in groups. It spreads energy. It shows you the value of the word fantastic, which is an amazing word. They call me Dr. Fantastic because I have the prescription for a happier and longer life. And it's apropos that I have this show. I was invited to be the guest here. And I hope it will make you happy. Put a smile on your face. Put you in the right frame of mind because it's all up here. And when you say that pledge, it manifests itself into what you want to be. Because you can look in the mirror and say, I'm a loser. I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm stupid. That's not cool. Or you can look in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful, I'm giving, I'm loving, and I'm happy, and all the good things that you want to be. All the fantastic things you want to be. So please like, subscribe, and share this episode and other episodes. This is, I think, the 17th or 18th episode. And I interview once a week one of my ambassadors. And around their schedule, I'd love to interview you if you're one of my ambassadors, because you all have a fantastic story. And the level of ambassadors I'm getting are off the charts. What they're writing is because I want people to share their positive things, not just my motivational quotes or advice. I want people to share their points of view, their thoughts that might make someone else smile and make you happy. So without further ado, let's bring in our guest, Robin Silberman, from St. Louis, residing in Imperial. I visited her recently and the family, and that's where I think I got my cough, because I've heard all of America is got some kind of a illness going on. There's a thing called the fog. Anyway, stay tuned. And also, as you know, I have a cooking segment where I show you a fantastic recipe. Easy, fast, economical, and delicious. Stay tuned. Well, everyone, I'm very happy to introduce you to my ambassador number 493, Robin Silberman from St. Louis, Missouri, currently residing in Imperial, but I met her and her wonderful husband in California. And Robin, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
And my first question to all my guests are, how do you define happiness?
Wow. No worries.
Yeah, worrying is all your fault. Someone who's not worrying certainly is a happier person than someone who's worrying all the time. And I always say, if you're worrying about something, you're a fool, because nothing's worth worrying about. You're in a snowstorm, basically, in Missouri. If you're worried about the weather, I mean, that's a little silly. You can't change that. If you're worried about relationships, you can change relationships. If you're worried about traffic, you probably didn't leave in time to get where you're going, right? So as you know, Robin, this is my show called The Complete Guide to Happiness. And you have given a lot of happiness in your life. You've been through hell and high water, through many operations and illnesses. You're currently working with a wonderful group called NAMI, which is the National Association for Mental Illness.
Alliance.
And because, 70% of people suffer from depression, which I guess is a mental illness, right?
Right, of
So
course.
70% of humans are mentally ill, which is pretty sad.
I think it's a higher than that.
It probably is higher than that. So tell us about NAMI.
NAMI is the National Alliance for Mental Illness, and they are the largest grassroots mental health organization in existence. They have been around for, I think, 65 years,
Wow.
something like that. They've been around a long time. And basically, they don't offer like doctors and therapists and all that. They offer support groups, a hotline so people can call, and if they have mental health questions or they're going through something, they can call and talk to somebody. And they also fund research for new medications and new treatment methods and that sort of thing. And they're the biggest contributor to the research side of mental illness.
Now they're the national alliance. Is there an international alliance as well? You know?
I do not know. I'll have to ask that question.
Okay. Now you give speeches because you're a writer and you've been through a lot of adversity in your life, and you have something called "It Didn't Break My Spirit." Give us
Well,
a
that's what
little
I'm
synopsis on all the illnesses and hardships that you incurred, and you're still smiling. Give us a little update on that.
Well, it continues, I'm not out of, I'm not, shall I say, out of the woods, but things have been going better for me lately. Honestly, since I wrote, but it didn't break my spirit. I've been on like an upward tick with everything because talking about my mental health and helping people get through it has been a dream of mine for like 30 years, that I wanted to help people. As soon as I found out that I suffered, I was wanting to help. It's just a little, I call it my testimony, because
Yeah.
it's just matter of fact little, a few sentences about what happened, but it didn't break my spirit. And then this happened, but it didn't break my spirit. And it's just to remind people not to let anything get to you. It's okay to be sad, but don't let it overtake your life.
Yeah, and sharing it by talking about it
Sharing,
is a really
talking about, absolutely. That's what I've always done since I was a young girl, because my trauma and my illnesses and all that has been going on since I was a very small child.
well, people could see the negative and live with the negative, or you could see the positive and improve by it. I always say the past is the past. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. But you've had a number of mental issues and a lot of operations. I mean, my goodness, how many
I've
operations?
had 16 operations in 11 years.
That's a lot of
And it's
operations.
all and it's all because of one illness that I have called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and it's attacking my joints. And I
Oh,
have
wow.
I have arthritis everywhere. And I just had my 16th joint surgery, and 15 of them were due to Ehlers-Danlos. One of them wasn't. I had my gallbladder out. I'm writing a book, and my book is going to be called "But It Didn't Break My Spirit," and it's going
Right.
to be based off of the testimony. So it'll include a lot more, but I'm going to get deeper into some of the things that I talk about in my testimony in my book. And not don't t- now don't misunderstand. I'm not saying I'm the only one in the world has had bad times, and the only one who has been through trauma, because I know we have all been through our own trauma, but it happens. how you deal with it and what your perspective is on what happened to you. Because I can honestly, looking back over the last 40 years of my life, I can honestly find something positive out of every negative thing that's ever happened to me. So just don't let it break your spirit. Don't let it keep you from smiling every day, because you know what? Life is a gift, and we're only here for a very, 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 very short time, considering time, you know, and we need to
And
make the best.
you've brought happiness to a lot of children in your life.
Yes, for 15 years, I have 5 children of my own. And through the years, when my kids were teenagers, I I made a hot dinner every single night for 15 to 20 kids from broken homes who had little to no parental involvement. So they were at my house every night eating dinner, driving me crazy. We disciplined them. We loved them. We praised them. We did all the things that they didn't have in their life. And those kids still call me mom. And it's the best feeling to know that I could be there for them in that way.
I applaud you. I mean, that's fantastic, to do that. You know, I mean, giving is, well, sharing, I like to say, is caring. Caring leads to kindness, and kindness leads to happiness. And we're here to
Right.
be happy. Somehow we have to make ourselves happy. You know, you're doing it on your own, you know, by going to NAMI meetings, and sharing your experiences. And sharing is caring, you know. I mean, it's very important.
It is. You know, people need to share more. People need to realize that everybody has something that they're going through or they've been through, you know, and once we share with each other, we realize that we have more in common than we do differences.
And it might not be always internal. Like right now, there's some horrendous apocalyptic. How do you say that word? Apocalyptic. How do you say?
Apocalyptic.
Thank you. Apocalyptic fires in Los Angeles. You lived in Los Angeles for many years. It's the devastation is unparalleled. I've never seen anything like it. I've lived there my whole life. 57 billion so far. I mean, just to imagine 45 square miles of devastation. They say it's bigger than San Francisco. My house burned down in San Francisco when I was a child, but that is mentally devastating. But again, if it didn't kill you, it makes you stronger. And if we can give some advice, you and I, to anyone listening that's been affected by such natural conditions. I mean, hopefully someone didn't set the fires, because lightning does cause a lot of fires. That, you know, it's just a material possession. You know, you've had
Exactly.
you and your
Exactly.
husband.
And me personally, my family's been through 3 house fires of our own where
Oh,
we lost nearly everything. And there's no words to even give you to even say of how you feel when you realize that everything you have is gone. All I could say is that hang on to your family, hang on to each other, because that's all you have right now. It is stuff is only stuff, but you have your family. So hold on, that because that's what they need. Not only is it what you need to be able to hold on to your family, but they need you to hold on to them too. You
yeah.
know, and just be just, you know, I know it's hard to say, but keep your chin up because it will get better. I promise. I'm living proof that
Well,
it gets
time
better.
heals all wounds, and you know we rebuild. You know, physically and mentally, right? You've been rebuilding mentally for a long, long time, and you're still smiling.
I'm still not there either.
CDZ Collegia Musica is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. It is a kind of school of music, a concert series, and an agency that promotes the musicians, dedicated artists, and educators who we feature as our performers. The goal of the Collegium is to bring community together through music performance. These performances vary in musical style from classical to jazz, and music from different parts of the world, from India to the Middle East, that'd be like Persia, and Japan, and China. The goal is to also educate us to how music functions not so much as a musical universal language, because there are differences in the way that these languages of music are expressed, but to educate us to be able to be more appreciative not only of the music but the culture it represents. And by doing this, it brings community together.
You know, it's a process, like a relationship. You've been married, what, 40 years now? And, you know,
Years.
there's no easy relationships, you know, ones that are getting, even when you're getting along well, it's still work. And then when things don't go well, it's even more work. And unfortunately, in Hollywood, you know, as soon as there's a little rift in a relationship, they get divorced and they go on to the next one because it's a little bit superficial, you know, in my estimation. But
Well, they don't take it seriously enough.
yeah, and you know, it's just our goal is to be happy, however that can happen. And you know, your home was to lose your home. Well, you know, second to that is someone stealing your home. But I mean, someone stealing something from you is very devastating. But losing it by natural causes, you know, hopefully, you know, you can deal with that a little easier. You know, and what's really a shame is that they have to deploy the National Guard to protect the homes from being ransacked by the thieves. How horrible is that?
Our world is pathetic. Pathetic.
But
It's
you
just
know,
that people don't care about that there's a lot of people that don't care about each other. There's
well,
more, unfortunately, Monty, there's more people that care about each other than there are that don't.
it's Dr.
So,
Fantastic, by the way.
oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Fantastic.
By the way, it is the insanity of humanity. In the news today, and I've been saying this for many years, that I knew of a doctor that prescribed chemotherapy, and he went to jail. And now it may be the same doctor, and hopefully there's more. There's not more than one of them, but he's been prescribing chemotherapy for many, many, many years. Over 500, well, actually 553 people he told to go to chemotherapy that didn't have cancer, that obviously that was devastated. He made $17.5 million in kickbacks for prescribing chemotherapy to these healthy patients. What a piece of shit that guy is. And
Oh
that's
my
what I call
God.
the insanity of humanity. That's human greed. Then we could talk about corporate greed, which is food fraud, faking everything just to make a buck. Diabetes is profitable. Cancer is profitable.
Well,
Mental illness
I
is
think,
profitable. Wars are profitable. You know, it's the insanity of humanity. And I'm on a mission, and you're part of it. As of today, we have 10,184. You're in the top 500, which is, you know, it's one at a time. I meet people one at a time and ask them to be kind, and they say yes, and hopefully they adhere to that, you know.
yes, I don't understand what's so hard about it, really. It's like,
It seems really simple.
it really does. And it's like it's like it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile,
It's
you
about
know?
education. I have a lot of poor people in Africa that follow me, and a lot of them, they'll literally say, "What's in it for me to be kind, to be part of this kindness revolution?" They literally say that. I luckily have been meeting a lot of people lately, and they say, "How can I help?" Because just by spreading the word, by random acts of kindness, by smiling at people, by saying, "Have a fantastic day." You know, the word fantastic, as you know, really is amazing. It's therapy. because it releases endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin. The smile, by the way, if you're depressed, you don't smile. And if you keep on that cycle, you get more and more depressed. I
Right.
once met a woman and I asked her to say, I am fantastic, to show her the results of saying that, right? And she wouldn't do it. She said, I can't do it. I can't say it. I finally convinced her to say it. And she went something like this. She went, I am fantastic. It was so sad. I said, pretend you're an actress and say it with a vigor. Because if you say it with a little vigor and a little emotion,
You start to believe it.
exactly, it's called manifestation. And too many people are looking in the mirror every day and saying, I'm a loser. I'm broke. I'm ugly. I'm fat. I'm
Oh,
stupid.
but you will be as long as you keep telling yourself that.
Exactly. Manifestation.
I mean, I have lost and gotten and lost and gotten and lost and gotten so many times in my life that it's almost funny. I don't know. I don't know if it's almost like someone keeps trying to knock me off my feet. And I'm like one of them little punching bags that we had when we were little kids. Dr. Fantastic, remember where you hit the clown in the nose and it
Right.
went down and popped right back up?
Right.
That's what I am.
Yeah. And it didn't break your spirit. Now,
And it
you've
did
written something. You don't have to read off that paper. You've got it in your head. Tell me some of the things that didn't break your spirit.
3 fires.
Okay.
I was raised in a dysfunctional household by a overly protective, overbearing, critical, volatile father and an angry, unhappy, sometimes violent mother. I don't remember a day that my mom and dad did not fight. And I do not remember a day when my mom was nice to me until 2 years before she died. She had a stroke, and after the stroke, she was this different person. And I had 2 wonderful years with her, but she never said anything nice to me ever in my life. I was bullied in school. When I moved from St. Louis to California when I was 10 years old, and I was never accepted in school in California. No one everybody bullied me and physically and emotionally hurt me all the time. And it just was a very difficult situation, but I didn't let any of it turn me into something I didn't want to be. Does that make sense?
Of course. You know, it's
You know,
easy, a lot easier to fail than to succeed because we can blame it on our parents, we can blame it on society, we blame everybody and everything except ourselves.
right. And I have no problem owning up to everything I've done. I've done things in my life, I wish I had never done. But you know what? That's in the past. There's nothing I can do about it.
Exactly. Move
Only
on.
look forward to the future. Don't dwell in the past because that's why it's called the past, because it passed us by. It's gone.
Well,
Rearview mirror.
yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
Right.
And people are going through devastating. I was with you recently in Missouri with your family, and I think I don't know how many people died from that snowstorm. Was it 10?
I don't remember.
It was 8 or 10, but that always happens. People freeze to death, people get in accidents. And then right now, the devastation in Los Angeles, and that's horrific. 10 people have died there as well, and it'll probably be
Hmm.
reported as more because that kind of
It said people are
devastation,
still missing.
a lot of
People are
people are
still
still missing.
missing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a war zone. I mean, it's almost like an atomic bomb blasted the area. It's horrific. And all I can tell people is, it's again, it's the past. You can't do anything about it. All you can do is rebuild, move. I suggest to people get the hell out of the city like you guys did, because once you find a love, unless you're just into making money, get the hell out of the city. There's too much crime. There's too much pollution. There's too much bad people there. Bad people.
Traffic.
Huh?
Traffic.
Traffic is like the 405 freeway isn't it like 12 lanes across nowadays?
I something like that, but I'm telling you, the traffic in California was something that I do not miss, man. Oh wow. Those were some I used to go to work 45 minutes away and it took me 3 hours to get there and 3 hours to get home.
Yeah, that's 6 hours out of your life.
I know, that's why I quit. I said one
Yeah.
day, you know what? I told Michael, I said, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I said, I'm wasting 6 hours of my life and I'm not doing it anymore.
Now, speaking of 6 hours, we sleep probably, what, 8 hours? Or we're supposed to sleep 8 hours, I think.
7 to 9.
7 to 9. So here's some advice for the people listening in. You've been around a few years and recently bought a fantastic mattress, and
Yes,
you've seen your life change because it's comfortable and it's working. Isn't that amazing?
it is amazing. Never knew a bed could make such a difference.
Yes. It's
It
like
does, man. I sleep more soundly than I've slept in really, really long
a
time.
third of our life. People, what kind of investment is that? I think I should go into the mattress business. Well, I'm retired. I don't need any more businesses. But I mean, a good sleep is very therapeutic for the mind, the body, all those are good things. Do you do yoga or do you do meditation?
No,
No.
my
Well, you
medication
probably
is
do, and you probably don't even know it. When you're cooking a meal or washing dishes and you're focused on that, that's a form of meditation because you're
right. And when I
relaxing, you're
sit and
not thinking
mess
about
with
your
my
problems, you're doing something.
right, that's why I have my crafts and my beads and stuff because
Yeah.
I can mess with that. That's more my type of meditation because just sitting there in the middle of the floor and putting my hands on my knees and going, okay, I'm not going to think about anything.
So, I spent a little time with you over the holidays, and I noticed a lot of fighting amongst all of you, screaming, shouting, fighting, cursing, belittling, teasing, but you all love each other. So
I
I haven't
know
been in a family environment in a long time. I don't know if that's the norm that, that everyone
it's not.
it was to me, I wanted to get the camera out because it was shouting matches. It was really, it seemed like a lot of hurtful things being said. But then an hour later, you're all hugging and kissing and opening up presents. And it
It's
was,
just the way it's just the way our family has always been. We're
well, like
just
you
like,
say,
we're all stubborn.
you were raised in a volatile environment, and that affects you as an adult. To maybe the stimulation you get from screaming at each other. I mean, we all
Right.
love to fight because makeup sex is fantastic, you know?
Well, when you fight with your spouse,
Exactly.
when you fight with your kids, it's just
No, no, no. We don't want to go
hurtful.
there. We don't want to go there.
Well, I get along pretty well now with all the kids. The only one I've one daughter that I have an issue with, and she's very hurtful,
She's got some
and
issues. That girl's got some issues.
and she's got some issues, and she came in and she attacked me on Christmas.
Yeah, that was
And
pretty horrific. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
and Michael said it was my fault.
Yeah. We blame everybody and everything, but ourselves.
You know what? He talked to her for a while. She came out, everything within the day went perfectly.
Right.
So kids.
Yeah, I heard a phone call from her to Mike and crying, and I mean, like you say, it just proves the fact that 70% of people are depressed and suffering from mental deficiencies. I guess it's the word for it.
Well, my mental illness is more hereditary and deeper
Uh-huh.
in me than just being depressed because of a circumstance. Do you
Okay.
understand what I'm saying? People who are depressed because, oh, this happened to me, I'm depressed. They don't need a medicine, or they don't need a counselor to talk to them to get them out of bed, or medicine to get them to get out of bed. They just automatically, you go through things in your life and you're depressed, you're situationally depressed, or you're chronically depressed.
Right.
I'm chronically depressed amongst several other things.
Right. Well, what advice do you have for people to be happy?
Do something positive every day, even if it's tiny. Take a tiny step forward and do something positive that makes you feel good about yourself, and just, find a reason to smile. You know,
Exactly.
go on Facebook and find a quote a day and have it pop up on your positive quote a day, or look at your quotes, or do something that's going to put a smile on your face and make you think, to spark that positivity for that day.
You gotta put it in. It's like a computer. We're computers. We gotta put the positive information in. If you're always thinking about the bad weather and the bad relationships and your bad job and bad this and bad, you're just gonna make yourself miserable. But again, I think people enjoy being miserable because they could blame.
People do.
They
People do.
blame
But
everybody and everything.
I also believe that people don't believe that there's a way out of that misery.
Well,
That's what I'm here for.
and that's what I'm here for. Let's try to help these people out
Let
of them.
people
And interviews like
let,
this, if someone were to watch this interview, I think they would have gained something from it.
I think so.
So we have to like, share, subscribe, because maybe you're not suffering from depression, but your loved one is, or your work associate is.
Right.
They got to look at the silver lining in every cloud.
Right, exactly. You've got to find one. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it takes me years
But
to
you got to
find
love
something
yourself. I
positive,
don't
but
care if
I
you're
always
500
do.
pounds. I don't care if you're old. I don't care if you're crippled. You've got to love yourself if you expect anyone to love you. And, it's about love. To love yourself is the hardest, most important commitment in life.
All you need is love. Dun,
All
dun,
you need
dun.
is love, love. Love is all
Love
you.
is all you need.
Now,
Love is
Robin,
all you
you may not
need.
know it, was a big singer. She's cut a couple CDs. She sings like Karen Carpenter, or used to.
Yeah, well, I sound like she did. I used to
Singing,
sing her, huh?
singing, dancing, cooking, gardening,
Singing,
all these things
dancing,
make you happy.
acting. I've had about every kind of job you could imagine. Um, I probably could have been famous, but I don't want to be part of that world.
I could have been a contender. Robin, thank you for being an ambassador of kindness. I hope one day
You're
you get,
welcome.
I hope one day you get more involved and introduce it to people, because it is helping a lot of people around the world. I think it's the world's best kept secret. The word fantastic changes lives because it reduces stress, anxiety, and depression, makes you look and feel fantastic. One word can change the world. Well, two words do. Be kind. Just be kind. It stops war, it stops violence, it stops greed, it stops all the horrible thing man does. All the
And
horrible things.
it's as simple as a smile.
It's as simple
You
as a
don't
smile.
even have to say anything.
There you go. Robin, have a fantastic weekend.
You too, Ma. You too, Dr. Fantastic.
There you go. You're learning.
Love you, man.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Breaking news, Charles Manson, the infamous cult leader who led a string of murders in the 1960s.
It's that time of the show where I cook you some fantastic meals. This one was when I was living in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. It is one of the top resorts in the world. It's very hot. So this recipe actually doesn't make much sense for Sharm, but if you're living in America, in the Northeast, where it's freezing, this is the perfect recipe because it's chili. I love chili. There's 1,000 ways to make it. One of my favorite recipes was when I was in, where was I in the country? I was in the woods, and I made bear stew. It's kind of chili stew, but it was a lot of fun. So here's another episode of me cooking a fast, easy, economical, and delicious recipe, chili. You can't go wrong with chili. I hope you enjoy it. I'm sure you will. So without any further ado, here's the episode. Welcome to another episode of Dr. Fantastic Cooks. And as you know, I always say have a cocktail. This is a beer without alcohol. So today, non-alcoholic beer. To get the recipe off, I'm going to give you the easiest, fastest, and shortest video I've ever made for cooking chili. Take a pound of ground beef and saute it with onions. I always saute the onions first, then I put the ground beef in. Today I did it with 2 breasts of chicken. I diced up the chicken very small, sauteed the onions. Here you go, 1 onion. And then sauteed the meat, then put the 2 tomatoes in. Then you're going to put in, I got the peeled Egyptian recipe, fava beans. Get as many beans as you can. White beans, chickpeas. There's more fava beans. I didn't mean to get that. Black beans and kidney beans. As many varieties as you can. And so basically you just saute the onion, dice up the onion, dice up the tomatoes, saute them, throw a couple chili peppers in there, throw after the meat's cooked, throw in the beans, throw in a little chili powder, maybe a tablespoonful, unless you want it spicier. Some salt, some pepper. You can throw in a little oregano if you want. You can throw in a little garlic. You should put some garlic in as well. And that's the recipe, and it's delicious. They actually have tortillas here, and I was going to make a Mexican dish, but I'm going to make chili burritos. They're fantastic. There it is. To cook it in the kitchen, make it fun, make it easy, make it fast, make it delicious. And it's fantastic. Green on a warm day, on a hot day. No, green on a cold day, man. Have a bowl of chili, have a chili burrito, have a chili omelet, because leftovers, don't ever throw food away. Put leftovers in the fridge, make a chili omelet tomorrow. It's fantastic. Chili is fantastic. And glad you're watching. Be kind to yourself, be kind to the environment, be kind to others. Be kind. Choose kindness. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic week. And this is what she'll look like. Delicious.
I met Dr. Fantastic along life's way, and I heard him say, you gotta say, I am fantastic, la la la. I am fantastic. You can feel it. If you say it in a game, you gotta learn how to play it. Fantastic, fantastic. Just listen to the doctor. He's a rocker. He walks around all day. He ain't plastic. He's not sarcastic. He says, I am fantastic.